ready to start? Are we recording? Yes, we are. Okay, it is 7:20 and big apologies everybody, but we have been having some tough technical difficulties. It appears we probably need a new laptop for this situation. So it is 7:20 and we'll call the regular meeting for the Township of Nipigon to order at this time for Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. We'll start with our land acknowledgement. In the spirit of reconciliation, the Corporation of the Township of Nipigon respectfully acknowledges it is located on the traditional lands of the Red Rock Indian Band, signatory to the Robinson Superior Treaty of 1850, and the township further respectfully acknowledges the historic presence of other signatories on these lands. Are there any addendum to the agenda at this time? Anybody? No. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest at this time? No. Okay, so we will start with the approval of the previous council minutes. This is item 3A. So this is the previous council minutes from February 10th, 2026. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about those minutes? Nope. Okay, so we have a resolution here. Who would like to move the resolution? Councillor Hart, seconded by Councillor Harper. So this is resolution 2026-029, moved by Councillor Hart, seconded by Councillor Harper. Be it resolved that this council approves the regular meeting minutes of February 10th, 2026 as presented. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. You guys all were in favor, eh? On the, yeah, okay. Sorry, I forgot to glance up.
She can see me when do it. I'm okay. Can't hear me.
They can hear but can't see. Yeah, so they can motion that they're voting. So
on the microphone, they're showing that they're saying stuff. So it should, this end is not.
Yeah, we can't hear. All right. Next, under finance, we have the CAO's reports 2026-02-2401. for water rates and sewer charges, and this I believe is a bylaw to within the report is a bylaw or a recommendation to accept the bylaw for to pass the rates for water and sewer services. So again, this is to separate those services, and yeah. The proposed bylaw is needed to set water rates for 2026 and to complete the transition of sanitary sewer and sewage charges from property taxes to water billing that began in 2025. Okay, does anyone have any questions or concerns?
I just have a comment about
Yep.
it. It looks like for myself, 2 people, the water bill was 291 and then the sewer charge is going to be 104, I think it was.
Yep.
So the taxes should go down by 400 or so then, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think from what I can see in here, Tim, if you could correct us if we're wrong here, but I think that people are not going to see that reflection in their taxes until the end of the tax
Until
year.
the final 2 installments.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
second bill.
the first 2 interim payments are based on the previous years. They're half of the previous years.
Right, yeah.
So when the final billing comes out, the migration of sewer charges to water billing will be fully reflected
Okay.
in those numbers. And it depends on your assessment and the number of people in your house, but for most people, we'll see a reduction
Right.
in their property tax. So the rare case where the final property tax bill is less than the
Okay. So we do have a resolution to pass, to accept the report as is, and then to approve the bylaw for this. All right, so is there someone who'd like to move? Councillor Harper? Who would like to second? Is that Gail? Or
Yes.
Oh, there you are. We can hear you now.
You can
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Hello. Seconded by Councillor Westhaver. So this is resolution 2026-030, moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Westhaver. Be it resolved that this council receives CAO report 2026-02-2401 for information, and that this council gives 3 readings and approves bylaw 2018, a bylaw law to set rates respecting water and sewer services. All in favor? All in favor? Opposed? And carried. All right. Okay, so that covered both A and B of finance. So now we're going to move on to item number 5, council business and administration. So for the first item here, we received correspondence from a resident who uses the walking trail at the marina quite a bit in the winter time. And she is interested in perhaps having the trail widened and flattened a little bit more, perhaps using a snowmobile, which we don't have. But maybe looking at seeing if anyone's interested in a volunteer capacity and things like that. But did you have some comments about that? CFO?
I discussed it with EDO Bell and other members familiar with our trails and our trails subcommittee. And we've had volunteers in the past that have offered to do this. It seems to me it would be logistically fairly easy to arrange. We would announce the closure of a portion of the trail for a Saturday morning, let's say. We would need 3 volunteers, one with a snowmobile who was willing to do the driving. We could walk 1 volunteer up the trail to 2 kilometers up the trail.
Make sure no one's there.
Make sure no one's there. Have the other at the trailhead to make sure no one enters, and then slowly take the machine back and forth to widen the trail. We obviously can't do the entire trail. Not all of it's traversable by a snowmobile.
Yeah.
But we could probably give the community a walkable little loop at the start of the trail.
Somewhere there's some, I forget what my wife said, there was come in from the tracks or something, so it was farther down there was a skidoo, but
yeah,
nothing close enough.
nothing close. And it would, I do agree, with the resident that took the time to write in that the trail in the winter, it gets well packed in the center, but the sides get a bit loose, and it's pretty easy to roll an ankle if you step off of it or at least fall down in the snow. And if it's deep enough, it has been this winter, it can be hard to get back up.
Yeah.
So with council's approval, it's something I would like to explore in coordination through our trails committee. Sure. If we can get a volunteer in, we can try to give them, perhaps a 3 kilometer, 3.5 kilometer total distance walk.
That'd make a big difference on the trail.
Yeah, it would make it accessible.
Especially now, because with new snow, you don't see it anymore, and like you said, you're falling off.
And the chickadees would appreciate it. If we
Yes.
Yeah, I was walking it, I walk it almost every day, but I usually sort of go up past, like, just to do a loop by the sewage plant there, so I don't always go the farthest you can go. I don't always have time, but I did walk the full length to the little lookout there. Is it like the Rotary Club lookout or something like the wooden platform? Yeah. So I think it sort of before that, as you're going through it narrows and narrows and narrows. It's about this wide to start with, and then it gets about that wide, and then once it gets a little bit further, it's kind of like this. So you're kind of stepping over yourself.
If you meet somebody, you got to get on.
Yeah. But I think that's about 3 kilometers, like, to that sort of lookout area, and it could probably go a little bit past. But I think even to that lookout area and back. But if you go a little bit past, it kind of does meet up with the mill road, and it could be almost a loop that someone could do, or go up to the rail trail. And if someone chooses to, we won't promote that, but if someone chooses to, they can do the loop and go down the rail trail that's flattened already by the skidoos. But I think it would be a good idea to look into it.
Back and forth and make a big difference. I was really surprised that trails used lots.
It's used a lot. Yeah.
And some of the people that were using it kind of surprised me too. But,
no, it's nice. It's really nice for people to get out and enjoy it.
It didn't shock me, but holy moly, there's lots of people using it. Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have a resolution for that. Oh, Dale, do you have something to say? Sorry.
Yeah, I was just wondering if anybody's ever skidooed on it and made it worse.
I've never seen a skidoo track on it at all, because just so everybody knows, it's a non-motorized trail. There aren't any skidoos allowed or ATVs or anything like that allowed on the trail, winter or summer. So this would kind of like we said, we'd have to block it off, it'd be an exception and make sure that it does go slow enough so it doesn't damage anything.
Okay.
But I've seen an ATV on it once last summer, a couple of people on it and did one of these, but but I've never seen a skidoo on it, no.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Cause they have that big, long rail trail that they go on.
Yeah. all the
So
suits are
it's
up there.
nice and straight and they won't, hit trees and stuff. Okay, so, I guess we can move on. Do you have your
Yeah, we'll look
direction
into
on
it
that?
and we'll report back.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, and then we have the seniors banquet. So that is happening on May the 30th, 53rd annual seniors banquet. That is normally put on by the Rotary. And so just to let everybody know about that, that's just for information, basically. Anyone have any questions about that or any comments about it? No.
Are we gonna be, same senior of the board, senior of the year award, we're gonna present it?
Oh, that's a good point, actually. We need to nominate a senior of the year. So that's something that we do have to,
Yeah, so
Move
if council
forward
does intend to nominate a senior,
Yeah.
we'll put it on the agenda for our next meeting.
Yeah.
I'm going to close.
for sure, yeah. We could probably put a call out too in the next couple weeks,
Mhm.
before, maybe prior to our
Sure.
meeting, if it's possible to get a call out on, because that will come up pretty quick.
Yeah.
If not in the next 2 weeks, maybe after our next meeting to get people, but if our plan is to like, if we can select one as soon as possible, that makes it quicker for us to get the certificate and all that stuff and be ready
Yeah,
for
we gotta
the
get that, yeah.
banquet.
We'll put out a
So,
call for nominations.
Put out a call for nominations if you could and receive them by, I guess, Friday. It doesn't take people too long to get their nominations in. We do have some from prior years and we all know seniors who are active in volunteerism, so I don't think we'd have a problem finding one if we don't get any nominations, but it helps to get some suggestions as well, because there's some people that we don't all know about that do things you don't realize. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay, next we have correspondence from Red Rock Indian Band River Hawks sponsorship. This is a hockey team, I believe. I think I just went past it. Yes,
it's
it's a hockey team, eh, girls?
The little NHL or whatever it is. so.
Yeah, going to the Goodwill hockey tournament.
Oh,
in
good,
Thunder
yeah,
Bay,
I
I
see,
think. That's usually in Thunder Bay, eh, Sasha?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, do we have any discussions about this? That asking, it looks like they're asking for a cash. I don't think there's a fundraising event or anything like that. It looks like they're asking for a cash donation.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't know what the money is, but
Yeah. The only thing that, the only problem I have is that we have a lot of hockey teams of all ages and the Elks program here in Nibigon. And we don't give cash out for the, like, whenever there's an ask for something, if a coach will come in here and ask, because they're putting on the tournament, they'll ask for like a cup or a hat or something to put with a draw. I just feel like if we're giving cash, if, you know, the U11 Elks come and then the U13 Elks come and the U18 girls come who are going to Mississauga, which is pretty expensive, then we'd have to, you know what I mean? It's just kind of a, we do for all or we do for none, I feel like. And
might be a bigger picture here too, though. Depending on who's asking, right?
yeah,
Might be another consideration.
anyways, anyone have any other, go ahead, Councillor Westhaver?
Yeah, what is there usually like a donation from stores, or like Canadian Tire does donations, or is like how is that handled with all the other local teams?
Well, I think they're asking for cash, and I'm not aware that I'm not aware that any, like, I'm pretty sure that Canadian Tire never gives out cash. They're always giving out like prize.
Yeah,
things like
right.
that. And the other thing too is the, I don't know, like recognition of a sponsorship is also a consideration too. How is the sponsorship? If we do agree to provide a cash donation, how is it going to be recognized? That's important. But again, it's like if we do, then how can we say no to every single other team? And there are many of them that are asking for cash for different tournaments, because it's, as a hockey parent, it's costing me about $7,000 this year for tournaments. And,
Oh my God.
so
Been there, yeah.
yeah, so it is expensive, but anyways.
And the equipment.
I know,
The equipment too, yeah. Yeah, Councillor Cartwright, do you have a comment?
I know for the stores too, they, the Elks, all the different, departments or whatever you call divisions of the Elks, they never ask for cash. They always ask for prizes to be used for fundraisers and stuff. And I mean, we all got the same letter to, this is the first ones that have asked for cash. So yeah, I understand what you're saying is if you do for one, you've got to do for them all. And it's kind of not fair that if we give them cash and we've never given any of the Elks teams cash.
Yeah.
Like maybe if they're having a fundraiser, I think it'd be good to, like, you know, or give them something in lieu of, like time in the community center or whatever, but free passes, or like you said, toques or shirts or something. But it's I don't know if it's a good precedent to start giving cash to every, because then you're gonna get a little flooded with a lot more letters from every, not just hockey, but every other thing, every group, every church, everybody else that's always asking, you know, for prizes.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think if they were asking for like a prize for like an activity for fundraising or something, instead of just the straight up cash, I would be well, that was because of our new bylaw that we passed last week, it would be up to Tim to decide what to donate. But I personally feel like if I'd be willing to donate an in-kind prize or something towards a fundraising activity. But cash, I think for something like this, that we have so many recreational teams and things like that, I think it's a slippery slope if we start giving out cash. So that's my opinion. Are we okay with that? Maybe sending a letter back to them and saying we're not giving out cash at this time to teams, but let us know if there's a if you're wanting a prize for an auction or something like that. We'd be willing to do that. Is that okay?
Let them know we're happy to make an in-kind
To donate an
contribution.
in-kind contribution, yeah. Yeah, and the other thing too is when you're talking about curling or you're talking about hockey, with all the teams, with everything that happens, is the township does supplement those facilities
Oh, for sure.
in
Yeah.
in the tens of thousands of dollars. So that's, you know, I see that kind of as our cash contribution to all of our recreation, is we really do. We are not we, but our taxpayers, our community does supplement those facilities quite a bit, and I think we're happy to. Right, girls, it's good to have those facilities, but at the same time, it's also giving out cash is kind of. Yeah. So you guys are okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll move forward to the fire department, and we have a resolution here because I believe there is a
new member,
Sterling Lesperance. I don't know that person. It sounds like a superhero name.
A good kid. He's a good boy.
Perfect for a fire department edition. Okay. Before we go on to the resolution, does anyone have any questions about the minutes that we have here? We've already seen these minutes,
Yes.
so we just missed Sterling there. So we're gonna have a resolution for that. Who would like to move to approve Sterling's application to be a firefighter? Councillor Harper moved. Who would like to second? Councillor Hart. so this is resolution 2026-031, moved by
You know who
Counselor Harper, seconded by Counselor Hart.
During L'Esperance.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Gail, can you mute yourself if you're gonna?
Yeah.
Sorry. Resolution 2026-031, moved by Counselor Harper, seconded by Counselor Hart. Be it resolved that this council receives the January 21st, 2026 Fire Department meeting minutes for information, and that this council approves Sterling L'Esperance's application to be a firefighter. All in favor? Opposed? You guys are in favor and carried. All right. Recreation minutes, these are for information only. These are the recreation minutes from January 26th, 2026. I was at that meeting. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about the minutes?
I think I do.
Yes, Counselor Cartwright.
How do they go about doing the auction for the bike? Like, how is that advertised? Or
The auction for the bike, did you say?
yeah, it says item G.
Item G.
Oh, fitness equipment, surplus.
Oh, I am not sure. I did notice at the gym that they had some papers with pictures of the bike to see if anyone was interested. Just so you know, it is like pretty non-functional. It's very old, and whoever decides to purchase it will have to do
DLC.
major repairs on it. I think that's why it's just one of those things that if anybody wants it, they're put in a bid. But I'm not sure what the plan is for that. I know it's been, like I said, there's pieces of paper in the gym that are.
Yeah, I looked briefly at the flyer. It's requesting people submit what's essentially a silent bid. I think there's a minimum bid price of $100. I don't think, I haven't talked to Kristen about it, but I don't think it's going to end up deals or surplus because
Okay.
the value's low
Yeah.
And because it's a bulky item, you'd have to be fairly proximate to the pick it up.
Yeah.
So we try to find a home for it in the community. Ideally, someone who's handy.
Yeah.
Restore it to a functional use.
Yeah. Has it been posted like up around like in our lobby here at the library at Zeckner's and all that, like
That
those
I'm not
papers?
sure.
Okay, maybe we can do that if
A little broader, sure.
yeah, put it a little broader. There might be someone maybe that doesn't attend the gym that might be interested in having one of those, fixing it up and having it at their house or something.
And then do some notices on the Facebook page.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, cover all the bases. Because it would be a shame to throw it out, but okay. Anything else on that? We were to have a recreation meeting this week, but it was canceled because Kristen is sick. But I will be bringing up, because I know it's a concern for both Gail and Anne-Marie, well, all of us really, about the pool and staffing the pool.
Yeah.
So I'll be bringing that up at the next recreation meeting on behalf of council and just making sure
There was something here.
we're on track for the lifeguards. Yeah. Ensure previous employees know about, the courses, but we do want to know who's interested.
Yeah, we need to start
coming
planning
back.
that now, for
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so that was just for information. So if there's nothing else on that, we'll move on to economic development. So the January 7th, 2026 Economic Development Committee meeting minutes. These are just for information at this point. But we'll pass a resolution to accept them in draft form. And then authorize staff to provide up to $900 in funding for Nipigon Ice Fest to cover the Legion Hall rental fee. That's on the resolution as well.
Have we traditionally done that, or?
I don't know. I don't remember it going through in the last couple of years. But I remember when I was with the town, we did, but it was quite a bit cheaper. It was about half.
This rental they did up the rental, but this also includes the PA system now, the
Mm.
rental fee and that, and the kitchen.
Hmm,
Whereas we used to pay for, I believe, the food. I think the last couple of years, but the last few years, our has been down
mhm.
and then back up. And this is something that the MAC is actually perfectly geared towards.
Mhm.
Like this.
Yeah, the development fund.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, just the thought about, was a letter received? Was it sent to the town office? Was there like a sponsorship request or a donation request or anything like that? Brianna?
So not, well, I was participating in sending out those letters, so it was discussed in one of
Oh.
my best meetings, because traditionally, like we had either done the hall rental or, as Glenn said, the food. So yeah, it's my first year on this festival, so kind of learning all of those things.
Okay,
And it does put people in our hotels.
it does.
That's,
I just would like to know how the town would be recognized.
Yeah.
Once again, like, is there a website? Is there a Facebook page? Is there a shout out to the township at the event? Is there, what, because normally when we do get a request or like it comes with sort of a package of, and I know I've worked with the Ice Fest before. I know that it's a little because the people that organize it are not in Nipigon, it's run a little bit differently. I get that, but it would be good to know too, like how that recognition, because that is $900 is,
Yeah.
it's substantial, right? It's a lot.
Can they use the arena? Although this way.
Yeah. They use the kitchen though, for their
Okay,
dinner
yeah,
and
they
all
need
that
the
stuff.
kitchen, right. Years ago, there was trouble with, we give some donations to the Ice Fest,
Mhm,
and I think it was at the Elks Hall. And then, like Glenn said, it's supposed to be heads in beds,
mhm,
and quite a few of them slept at the Elks Hall.
mm. Yeah, I think they do sleep now in the, they're not allowed to sleep at the
No,
the
but
Legion, but.
that's the thing,
yeah.
if we're paying for the Legion,
Yeah.
there's no overnight accommodation.
No. Yeah, and
'Cause
that's
I
the other
know
thing
people were
too.
really upset with that.
Yeah.
before, yeah.
I would be interested in getting a report, if we do decide on doing this. I would also be interested in getting a report, how many people attended, how many overnight stays for how many nights, as well, and maybe also to let them know that I'm assuming, in the future, starting next year, this is something that's gonna have to come forward probably to the tourism development fund that's being developed. And this is something that we're not going to, I think, as a township have to consider anymore, because everything is gonna go to that fund for any cash donations for anything that's economic development, tourism, obviously, related. And looking at like submitting the application 60 to 90 days ahead of time. So they're gonna have to, or you, if you're involved in that on their behalf, we'll have to plan that a little bit earlier than this, but keeping that in mind, that is probably gonna be our last year of putting forward a cash donation. That's something to consider too. Any other discussions on it?
get Eric up there on the ice and have the sponsored by Nipigon banner on the ice at 200 or 300 feet up.
I'm just looking to see if there's anything else. Go ahead.
Just to kind of put my say in there, I do anticipate to be there during the actual event, and we had discussed doing a door prize, so we could kind of gather some of that information, where people are coming from, where they're staying, and there will also be a lunch at Ducky's as well as a lunch at China Gardens. So they are taking, yeah, the movements to be participating in Nipigon. So.
That's good to know too. Thank you for that. That's like just not the hotels, but also the restaurants, which is good. So yeah, that's actually great, because then you're not sort of intrusively asking people, where are you staying? You're staying overnight. Maybe that could be on the ballot. Where you're from, where did you stay? What hotel did you stay at for how many nights or something like that? I don't know. Or did you? I don't know, you could probably figure out a better way of saying it, but that's a good way to get the data. That's
Data points. It's all
Good
about data
idea.
points.
So before we go on to the resolution, just another, thing about so the veterinary clinic pilot, I know this is these are from January 7th, these ones, or what am I looking at here? Are these the January 7th?
These are the Feb 18th.
Oh, this is the February 18th,
Yeah.
okay.
So recent.
Okay. I'm gonna go past here. Yes, the mobile veterinary clinic. So, yes, I understand that Red Rock's not interested in
That's
sharing the
very,
cost.
very disappointing. Like, my God, I think you should have to show ID to go into this clinic. They shouldn't allow anybody from Red Rock there. Their council is not doing anything for their citizens. We tried a partnership with all these people. Nobody wants the partnership. I don't think the Red Rock should attend that.
Well, here's the
I'll
thing.
volunteer, guard the door.
Yeah.
I'll check ID.
Yeah, well, when I heard about that, I talked to Brian about it and Tim to see what the possibility is, because the other thing is, though, the more animals we get, the better it is for us, because we're making more money,
Yeah.
which cuts down what so I don't know if it was Brian or Tim that had this idea, but to charge any community that's not part of the veterinary services, so if you're from any other community besides Nipigon and Scriber, you will pay a premium fee. Like a $10 per person more.
I agree with that.
Whatever it is. Yeah, and then anyone who's, because.
Because if you're not participating, you're not participating. You can't. Too many freeloaders in
Yes.
this system here.
Well, that's the thing, is it's our space
Yeah.
that we're giving in kind. We're taking in the money and distributing the money and paying back for all the airplane and all that. That's all work. That is all in kind work.
And it's
that
very
takes hours and
disappointing.
hours.
Red Rock, maybe we'll give you something. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Well, the in-kind, we're pretty much taking care of all, but
Yeah.
there's not much else, so.
I think Red Rock will still be helping,
Yeah.
Brianna can correct me, but they'll be helping through in-kind contributions through staff on sort of the day of.
On the day of.
The event,
Yeah.
but, council,
Which we will be too.
yeah,
So.
council is just reluctant to assume any risk, which is their right. And then accordingly, we should probably have a tiered pricing, citizens from communities that are participating in kind of the risk sharing will pay a lower price. Those that are from outside of those two communities will pay a slightly higher.
At least that recognizes something.
And that mitigates our risk as well as subscribers somewhat.
And it's fairness.
And still
Comes down to
provides
fairness again.
an important service to community members and those in the surrounding area.
No, I think that's a good option too, because then we're still getting those animals in and the animals are getting taken care of.
It's about the animals, not about the politics.
Yeah, but still, we don't
Yeah.
wanna, where possible, because with
Yeah.
things like the hospital that, Councilor Harper's been brought up before, we are forced to take a lot of the load on. So something like this where others are able to take the load on. That being said, I'm very happy that Scriber is continuing to partner with us. It's fantastic. And,
Yeah, kudos to
that's
them.
great, yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about that. I don't think is there
Maybe
anything
we
else?
could keep track of, or get a handle on what. Nah, never mind.
I know.
They're still working on it. Are we still looking for a June date as well? We're still working towards that? Okay, that's good. Councilor Westhaver, do you have a comment?
Yeah, I just would like to keep track of how many non-residents from between Scriber and Nipigon attend that, just for our own information.
Yeah, we'll know if they're charging a premium. I'm sure they're gonna have to fill out a form,
Yeah.
their address and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so we'll have all that data, which is good.
And then once we have the data, if it costs the participating communities too much and the extra fees are not necessarily covering that,
Mhm.
we need to adjust that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe get some partners. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Yeah, sponsors or something like that.
Another question.
Yeah,
What about Dorian and Herkett? Are they welcome for an extra fee or?
anyone is welcome.
Yeah.
The only
Okay.
two, I believe it was put out to all communities in the area, and the only two that are gonna be partnering to help with bear the cost is Scriber and Nipigon. But it is anyone, even from Thunder Bay, you're welcome to come, but at a
Yeah.
premium price.
What do the res
If
ask?
you wanna take it to the next level, Thunder Bay. Like, Thunder Bay have more than enough pets on their own just to bring down.
So as
Yeah.
long as we have lots that wanna,
Yeah, as long as there's knowledge, something that it's not all on the big taxpayers.
yeah, absolutely.
Another thing too is a lot of I know a lot of people in Thunder Bay or towards Thunder Bay and Shunya, they can't get a vet to do anything. They're full, like the vets are full. So
Yep,
Might be really
our
popular.
staff will make sure that it's well put out there, yeah. Right, Brianna?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just one thing to mention on that, you know, with an additional increase on potential residents who are from non-sponsoring communities, as well as maybe a small adjustment on our rates, we could potentially not have any cost on the township at all. And with the numbers, that's what we're going for. As you said, Gail, there's definitely the potential to open the clinic up further. And yeah, in the future, that's definitely something to consider. If it's successful, it could be a revenue generating
exactly.
opportunity. So
Great. Okay, so we do have a resolution here that we receive the meeting minutes in draft form and authorized staff to provide up to $900 in funding to Nipigon Ice Fest to cover the Legion Hall rental fee for the March 2026 event. One more thing I'd like to say, I like the up to 900 because I wouldn't mind getting that invoice. Is the invoice going to be brought to us to pay?
yeah, yep. So I'm actually speaking with Natalie this week, and potentially we will be able to provide the speaker equipment and bring that down a bit. So yeah, that will be a conversation. That's up to
Perfect. So up to, but not necessarily 900. Okay. All right. Who would like to move this? Councillor Hart. Who would like to second? Councillor Harper. Resolution 2026-032. Moved by Councillor Hart, second by Councillor Harper. Be it resolved that this council receives the February 18th, 2026 Economic Development Committee meeting minutes in draft form and authorizes staff to provide up to $900 in funding to Nipigon Ice Fest to cover the Legion Hall rental fee for the March 2026 event. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. All right. Oopsie. Okay. Under, oh, that's it. Any other business? That was kind of quick. Any other business? I'll start with the girls. Do the student counselors have anything to bring up that they want to talk about? Okay, Counselor Hart. Counselor Harper? Counselor Westhaver?
I just had I think I read something that some people were wondering why the lookout isn't plowed out in winter. Is there maybe Taylor will be able to answer that? It's probably not a little bit dangerous to do that or on the slippery slopes there and stuff, but I'm not sure.
There was a note here in one of the things that it's actually plowed out. So I don't know about today, but
It hasn't been plowed out.
They just were working on getting it cleaned up at the end of last week before we got hit with all the additional snow, but that is on our to-do list to get that opened up.
That's
Okay.
great. I did have I forgot to mention it, but I did have another question about that a couple weeks ago from a person that lives by there that was seeing that people were sort of trying to like stopping to go in and it wasn't. So I know that's priority just with like the golf course road for the skiing and the marina and the lookout, non-priorities, but good to have when you have the chance to do it because it's people really enjoy going to the going into the lookout marina and also of course doing the skiing, which is great.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you for that, Taylor.
Thanks, Taylor.
Okay, Councillor Cartwright, do you have any other business?
Nope.
No. Taylor, do you have anything?
No, nothing here.
Brianna? Nope. CEO Cobbin, do you have anything?
No.
Just need a new laptop?
Yeah.
Yeah. again, we apologize, it's technical difficulties, but we'll.
Yeah, now that I had to deal with it, it'll be taken care of.
Yeah, you're right. So for me, any other business, Family Day, I just wanted to say it was a great job for our culture and recreation manager and the volunteers. I was only able to go to one. I was refereeing some mini sticks, which was pretty fun. But there was quite a few people, and I noticed a lot of people in the parking lot too for a lot of the events. So it was really successful. I think that was a good pilot project that we did. It worked out well. And I just wanted to thank the Public Works for all the hard work they've been doing with the snow removal. And it was so nice when I was walking down the sidewalks yesterday and it was all like cleared and sanded. And today it's like, and I just feel so bad for them. It's just like running on a treadmill, but they're doing a good job. So, all right. So, all of this being said, we are going to head into closed session. So we're going to have a resolution to do that. Who would like to move to go into closed session? Councillor Hart. Who would like to second? Oh, Councillor Westhaver. So resolution 2026-033 moved by Councillor Hart, second by Councillor Haver, sorry. Be it resolved. Westhaven. Be it resolved that this council now resolve into closed session at 8:01 p.m. pursuant to section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 to discuss a proposed or pending disposition of land by the municipality. Section 239(2)B to discuss personal matters about an identifiable individual, specifically a candidate for the position of Integrity Commissioner, and Section 239(2)D to discuss labor relations and employee negotiations, specifically collective bargaining matters. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, thank you, everybody. And we will bring everyone. Okay, we're gonna.
Yep.
Coming back into open, do we have a resolution or we have a resolution here to open the session? Who would like to move? Councillor Harper, who would like to second? Councillor Hart. Okay, this is resolution 2026-034, moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Hart. Be it resolved that this meeting resolves into an open session at 8:33 p.m. Mayor, Mayor. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? And carried. That's like one of those jokes. Council met in closed session pursuant to section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001. Council received an update regarding the withdrawal of an offer respecting municipally owned land. Council provided direction to staff regarding collective bargaining. Council also directed that a bylaw to appoint an integrity commissioner be brought forward for consideration in open session. No votes were taken in closed session other than procedural direction to staff. Okay, now we have a resolution for the CAO to authorize to proceed as directed in the in-camera session. Do we have a mover for this one? Councillor Hart is moving. Who would like to second? Oh, Councillor Westhaver, I think I saw first. Resolution 2026-035, moved by Councillor Hart, second by Councillor Westhaver. Be it resolved that the Chief Administrative Officer is authorized to proceed as directed in the in-camera closed session. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. All right, next we have the bylaw to appoint integrity commissioner. Who would like to move this one? Councillor Hart. Who would like to second? Councillor Cartwright. Resolution 2026-036, moved by Councillor Hart, seconded by Councillor Cartwright. Be it resolved that this council gives 3 readings and approves bylaw 2019, a bylaw to appoint integrity commissioner. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. All right, this is to confirm the actions of the meeting held on and prior to February 24th, 2026. Who would like to move this one? Councillor Hart. Who would like to second? Oh, Councillor Harper.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Resolution 2026-037, moved by Councillor Hart, seconded by Councillor Harper. Be it resolved that this council gives 3 readings and approves bylaw number 2020, being a bylaw to confirm the actions of the meetings held on and prior to February 24th, 2026. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. And then we have our final one to adjourn the meeting. Who would like to move this one? We just want to stay here. Councillor Harper. Who would like to second? Councillor Westhaver. Resolution 038, moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Westhaver. Be it resolved that this council meeting adjourns at 8:36 p.m. to meet on, what's the next, it's just one date here. March 10th, that's okay. That's an easy one to fix. And if it would be effective. Oh, geez. March 10th. Okay, I'm gonna keep this for now. So be it resolved that this council meeting adjourns at 8:36 p.m. to meet on March 10th, 2026 for the next regular council meeting or at the call of the mayor. All in favor? Opposed and carried. All right, good night. Thanks, guys.
Good night. Thank you.